You know what I'm saying? Hey, sis, how you doing? I see you ain't smiling today. What's wrong? You got all these clouds out here. We need to get you smiling. Just to, you know what I'm saying, kind of get people unstuck, because we never know, you know what I'm saying, when people have been traumatized. And like you say, those triggers, right? We get them over and over.
Topic today is Sisters of Survival. So we're surviving domestic violence. How did you walk out? How did you get out? How did you survive?
It was, for me, it was the power of God. And I'm just going to be honest. I did not get out by, therapeutic sessions. It wasn't any professionals that said, hey, run away. I actually chose to get up early in the morning before he woke up. I would go sneak and pray. And I'm just being honest with everybody in this room. I would go sneak and pray and cry out to God. And that's how I got out. The Lord, I woke up one morning and I just had this peace over me. It was just a peace that came over me. And I just felt really bold. And I just looked at him and I told him, I said, I'm leaving. And he stood there. Now, any other time he would have beat me bloody. He couldn't even move. And I'm going to tell you, it was nothing but the power of God for me. That's how I got out.
Well, we're so happy that you got out. Absolutely. So I'm just going to it's not addressed to any specific person, so jump in. How often do you see domestic violence abusers struggling with alcoholism or substance abuse?
All the time. All the time. I say a lot of people, self-medicate to try to get over the pain for something that they did, something happened to them, right? That's what self-medication is, right? So I know in the individuals that I work with, and we call them, we say that they're addicted to lifestyles, right? And when you addicted to a lifestyle that's destructive and take from you, a lot of people turn towards something that they feel like is going to lift them up temporarily to help them get over that hump, right? I remember going to school, me and my guys, there was a rule, you couldn't get high and drunk and stuff until after we got through doing what we was doing. Because if you get intoxicated or inebriated, we gonna get caught, because you ain't gonna know what you're doing, right? So it was after the deed was done that, we had to look for something to try to self-medicate so I can kind of get over, the fact that, man, I just really messed up, right? So it's common. I find it quite common.
Okay, the next question is, do you find the victims of domestic abuse suffers from the low self-esteem before the abusers start, or is it the result of being a victim of domestic abuse? So is it low self-esteem, or are they a victim of domestic abuse?
It could be a mixture of both. Low self-esteem can mix in there, and psychologically we do go into a place where we are always trying to find a place where we are comfortable. And sometimes we go to people for comfort instead of saying, hey, I'm okay. I'm okay. And what was the next part of that question?
So the other part was, they were asking, do you find that it's the domestic abuse comes more from a low self-esteem or from being in a domestic abuse relationship?
Yes, so just like we were talking about earlier, generationally we can also experience that generational abuse that we also would end up accepting and thinking that it's okay. Sometimes our environment can trick us into thinking that, hey, this is normal. So if I get older and I'm in a relationship, he's supposed to yell at me, he's supposed to curse at me, because that's how he does things, but it's not supposed to be like that.
Okay, here goes a good question. How do you rebuild, I would say, a broken relationship with your family when they've stopped dealing with you because of your domestic mess? So sometimes the abuser ends up making you alienate your family, and to the point where your family's just about sick and tired of you. Mm-hmm. So how do you, once you get out of that mess, how do you heal that relationship with your family?
It's connecting with your family. It's calling your family and just saying, you know, it was hard for me, but this is what I decided to do, and come together with your family. I don't know, just saying, hey, you know, I'm gonna have a barbecue. I don't know, but something to bring. And usually there's particular people in the family. It's not everyone. It could be mom, it could be auntie, it could be uncle, it could be a couple of people. And what happens in families, and when they want to cut you off, there's been a lot of damage, not only to you, but it affected the family as a whole. So they always love you, and they always will love you, but they need it to stop because they made a decision that they're not going through it. So I think just having that conversation, calling someone and saying, wow, it was hard for me, but I want to share this with you, and he is gone, and I'm done.
The next question is, why does the one that hurts you then turn to blame you and reject you?
Yeah. Now think about the hurt person hurts. My brother said that, and Sister Saran as well. That is so that I don't take responsibility for what I've done. It may be too big for me. I can't assume that responsibility that I've really hurt you. I may make you feel responsible enough to fix the relationship, because I may not even have the tools or the skills to do any healing for myself, but I'm going to use you and charge you that I've hurt to fix things. And no, that isn't healthy. That is not a healthy relationship. Don't let that be the barometer for a healthy relationship. But that may be a threshold for you to know that I need to get out. Yeah, I need to talk to somebody somewhere, read a book, muster some courage. Even if I flop, I still got in the back of my mind, that's a threshold that says things could get worse, because the thing that isn't happening right in front of me may escalate to something I really can control anyway. Okay? So that person who's hurting wants the sane or the healthier person to take the weight.
Okay, Manu, I want you to answer the last question because it's directed to the men that you talk to every day. Is it safe to say that men can see or look for vulnerability in women?
Yes. I said profoundly because a lot of times we have, one thing I know about men is that not all of us are very articulate, right? Not all of us know how to use our words.
Or want to.
Yeah, or want to.
Some of them don't
right?
want to.
Yeah, they don't want. So,
Yeah.
so the alternative is to get physical. So now, if you have a woman who, you know, you like putting a smile on her face, but she's very topical, right? She got a lot of stuff to talk about, and you're not really topical, and she's still talking, and now you kind of want her to not talk so much, and now there you go off into a demon mode or whatever, just to try to get her to stop talking so much. You're gonna be disrespectful. You're gonna, you know what I'm saying, just like look her off like, I ain't paying you no attention, right? All of those are the subtleties, right? What I share with men is that we need to, you know, like, I guess upgrade our emotional capacity to be able to communicate how we feel, right? We have a hard time doing that. We can't talk about how we feel. Then we go to other measures which don't turn out good, and we have to learn how to, and that goes back to the communication. If we can communicate properly, a lot of things won't happen. If we can communicate in truth, then we'll realize, well, I might have said something that was disrespectful to you because you was in the conversation, then you just faded away. What did I say? You know what? I didn't even know I said. You know what? I apologize for. Let's talk about that, because I don't want you to shut down anymore, right? That's what we have to do as men. We haven't learned that. We think that because we swell up, right? Or because we, you know what I'm saying, put too much bass in our voice and our eyebrows get a little bit too close together, that's supposed to change something. But it's a detriment to ourselves. It's harmful to ourselves, right, as men. So we have to learn how to communicate better, you know, with our sisters, our wives, and our queens, so that our family structure can be, you know, kind of rid of this dysfunctional engagement.
But do they look I just want to ask the question one more time. But do they look for women that are vulnerable? Do they look for women, let me use this word, do they interview in their mind a woman that's weak, that's vulnerable, that they can control? Or do they run from a strong woman that they know they can't control, and that they're like, oh, whoa, you're too loud mouth, or you're too this?
So most young men who don't have a strong backbone look for somebody who's, you know what I'm saying, gonna go for anything that they say and not gonna question anything that they say. Most men who don't really have a destination really wants to be with somebody who just wants free flow, that has no path, right? So it would make it seem like, you know, if I say we're going anywhere, then I'm the leader, right? A lot of men who haven't been, that's why I love Roots, when they took Kunta Kinte and them off to the training center, the manhood, they took them to the woods where a man could show them how to survive and how to be a man to be beneficial to the village. They took the boys to a man so the man can show them how to be productive men and be beneficial to the village. But when the boys get with each other, they get to kicking up dust and anything goes, right? So a lot of men don't realize that they look for, and especially the predatory mind, that they're looking for weaknesses, right? Which in fact, if you was coming from a strong mind, you would be looking for strengths instead of weaknesses. So the individuals who look for weaknesses, and I say this in group, and I kind of cut it down, talking about trauma, for men, we have to understand that if a woman kind of gives you the impression that she really likes you and is ready and able to provide you with her most precious jewels at the drop of a hat, something has happened. Something has happened to her to have a low value of herself to just want to give herself away. So you got to think about it, right? And that's what some men don't do. We want to eat something easy and quick, right? Something right now, instant gratification, right? It's finna be cuff season, right? We just want to, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, a little. But in actuality, is that what you really want? Is that what you really need? Is that what's going to sustain you for a period of time where you can get some gray hairs and watch your grandchildren grow old? That's the long-term ideology of a relationship, right? Not, oh yeah, just temporary, right? So when we get it in our mindset that should be an interview for the rest, like that, the judge, for the rest of our lives, this is who we're interviewing. If we aren't able to have that interview, we need to just get up and pay the tab and walk away.
All right, let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you so much. They are not leaving. They're going to be around. If you got more questions, you still can answer them. We're going to continue with the rest of this afternoon. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back at you.